Hi, this is Ben Rogers. This is the Property Diary. This is Tuesday the 16th of January, just here in the office. Good day today. Just want to share one thing with you. It's something new to me actually. It's funny because you quite often think you've seen most things and nothing's going to kind of put you off. This was a response from one of our Gumtree responses. So Anthony just plows through the Gumtree bits for sellers, and this is a response he had back. It actually came through as a telephone call, and it came through as a private number, so we just took the call straight away. Normally we don't take the calls, we call them back in our own time when we want to, but this one was a private number, so you can't capture the number on the phone, got no way of knowing who it is, and they may or may not leave a message. But he'd called a couple of times, and so that's it, took the call. Anyway, long story short, this is a guy who has bought a property, or was in the process of buying a property off plan. He bought it off plan back in March 2011, and it's just completing. He needs to complete by February of this year, you know, in the next month or so. It's a property, it's a flat in Docklands, a 2-bed property. He can secure it for 315,000. It's potentially worth about 360 to 380 at the moment, but he doesn't want it. Why does he not want it? He's had a child in the meantime. He'd much rather live in Wimbledon. You know, it's a lot greener. It's much better for kids over there, and so he doesn't want this property. So he's trying to find somebody who can buy it from him. Now, do I want to buy it off plan? No, of course I don't. It doesn't work for me. So what I said to him was this: look, the best thing that we can do is take the details of the property and pass on, if you don't mind, to investors that we know that buy properties in Docklands. But between you and I know that they're not going to be interested in it because it's not going to be of a discount. It's not enough of a discount for it to be worth their while. I've got one guy I know who buys HMOs over there, but it's a 2-bedroom flat. It's not going to float his boat either. So I kind of said, look, we can probably help you. I can put you in touch with a few investors. They might be interested. If I take your details, I can put you directly together and you can just arrange stuff with you. You know, I'm out of the picture. That's great. If you can sell it, fantastic. But I'll tell you what we'd do. You need to complete in February. He's put a deposit down of £31,500. Look, guys, he doesn't want to lose 31.5 grand, does he? You know, that doesn't make sense for him at all. So I said to him, look, rather than lose the 31.5 grand, if you can't find somebody who's going to buy it, you're probably going to buy it yourself, aren't you? But what you need is an exit strategy. I'm just thinking about somebody that we helped just recently, and similar sort of situation. They were emigrating, they just bought a property, had a new job that they were going to go and work in out the country, but they couldn't sell the property. So had this property here, they didn't really want it. What we worked out with them, and they actually came up with the idea, by the way, they came up with the idea that maybe we could take that property on and we could make the mortgage payments for them, or we could agree to buy it from them in the future, and we might even be able to get some of their deposit out of the property right now for them. Not all of it, of course, but some of it. Now I'm just sitting here thinking about it, the way you're talking to me about this, I'm thinking, well, you know, if it worked for them, maybe it might work for you as well. And guess what? It possibly does. So the way we've left it is this: we've taken all of his details, we know where the property is, we know all his contact details. Remember, it was a private number, an unknown number coming in, but we walked away with the address of the property, his email address, his mobile number, all the details, etc. And he's thinking we're doing 2 things for him. One, we're potentially going to find a buyer for him now. I personally think that's going to be unlikely. But then the flip side of that is, if he has to go through and buy the property, guess what his exit strategy is? It's Ben, because Ben can take that property off his hands. So we've agreed that we'll speak first week in February. We've agreed this. He can buy that at 315,000. I said to him, look, you know, if you had a magic wand, what would you sell it for? And he said, look, 320, 330. Great, so he's going to make some money on it. I said, look, I'll tell you what, if we could buy it from you for sort of 320 to 330, would you have any objection if we were to sell it on to somebody else and make a profit on that? Benny said, no problem at all. If you can buy it from me for 320 to 330, I'm happy. You can do whatever you like. Great, fantastic. So it's valued at the moment at 360 to 390. That's what other properties are selling for. Let's err on the lower end at 360. Is it possible that a tenant buyer in that neck of the woods might come up with a big chunk of getting started money? Yeah. Is it possible they might be prepared to pay today's market price, 360 to 390? Great. If I can buy it for 330, sell it for 360 to 390, there's 30 to 60 grand profit in there. Is that worth my while? Absolutely. So this is a short-term hopper one. It's going in the filing cabinet. It's called back the first week of February. Because if he can't find a buyer for it elsewhere, or anywhere that I might put through to him, he's going to probably go through the purchase. I then need to be able to jump in there and get the contract sorted out that we can buy at 320 to 330, and then go and find my tenant buyer stroke buyer on an option or an instalment contract. Fantastic. So the reason I want to share that with you today is because it's a property that he's buying off plan. You don't come across many properties like that at the moment, or I don't get many people coming to me with off plan properties that are in kind of Docklands or in anywhere in the UK that I can necessarily work with. But we can solve his problem. When we first started the conversation, I'm thinking, well, this is going nowhere, and that's probably what he thought as well. But as the conversation flowed, and it flowed fairly naturally, it was probably a 15-minute conversation. We've got to the point where he's thinking, Ben can help me in two ways. Maybe get a buyer right now, and maybe if I can't do that and I've got to buy it, he gives me an exit strategy. That means that I can babysit his mortgage, and he can go and get another mortgage on a property over in Wimbledon for about 500,000-600,000. That's what he ideally wants. And I can take on the Docklands property for the 320, 330. So all in all, not a bad little call. I just thought I'd share that with you because you may get these sort of circumstances. I haven't over the last 3-4 years. I've never dealt with an off-plan property, so I thought I'd share it with you today. So that's Ben Rogers. This is the Property Diary. This is the 16th of January. I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.